Right, bear with us a second, Davey. Hopefully we'll... These professional football players, you see. Oh. I keep trying to get Darren Williams to come on as well, but he says he's busy all the time. Right. Oh, wait a minute. Gordon's coming on now.
Oh, good.
Hello, Gordon.
All right, lads.
How are you doing? You all right, mate?
Oh,
How's things?
All right, Kevin. All good.
Ah, good. We're just getting you set up, mate, on the old streamy thing here.
Hey, brother.
Alright. So how are you?
All right, all good, man. All right, all good. Just watching a bit of the football here as well. Watching Luton again, just smashing it into the box as they do.
Oh yeah, I know. And then you get somebody like me that spoils it.
No, don't be daft. No bother.
Right, I'm just making sure we can see everybody okay. So what you been up to, Gordon? How's things?
Yeah, just usual. I work as a football agent, so I've been doing that for like over 20 years now. To be fair, since I jacked in, so that keeps me busy. And I do some other bits and bobs as well. Work for the Sunderland University and some other bits. Yeah, so yeah, I keep busy.
That's fantastic.
Try to anyway.
Oh, fantastic. That's great. Aye. So, what do you think of how the lads have been so far then?
Absolutely brilliant. To be fair, the manager's like got it spot on, hasn't he? He's like, I think he's changed everything. He's, I think his biggest thing is he's worked out that if he can defend well and you've got people that are committed and organised, then you can go a long way in this league. And we've got some good players, haven't we? There's no doubt about that as well. To be fair, but yeah, it's been fantastic so far.
It's been brilliant. I mean, a lot of Sunderland fans, Gordon, were a bit dubious because I never heard of Regis Labrie when he came on board, and think like, well, who is this? Yeah. Who is this? But he's certainly turning eyes, isn't he? So.
Oh, 100%, yeah. I mean, you can't argue with anything he's done so far. I mean, I think he realised straight away that like young Riggy was a little bit special after. I think we didn't play did he first game and then he played in the cup away at Preston and I think he obviously he changed his mind about him straight away and he realised what a good player he was. Chucked him straight in and stuck with him just about all the way since. And then putting Jude back as more defensive role, I think has been brilliant as well. To be fair, giving him but last year he was more like a number 10, wasn't he? But this year he's gone back in the midfield and been absolutely brilliant. Like to be fair, and listen, all the lads have all done well, haven't they? They've all contributed. Like I think it's been brilliant to watch. Yeah,
it has, yeah, and it's a good point what you said. Like such a young squad. And because we finished pretty poorly last season, it was pretty depressing to watch. And he's obviously waving some magic wand because all these young players they've just come on leaps and lauds, haven't they, under Regis Labrie? And the football we're seeing is pretty impressive stuff. Yeah. So he's obviously doing something in the background correctly, like. But we're not getting carried away. Obviously, there's a still long way to go. But I mean, Davey, you always say to Gary Bennett, "Let's get carried away," don't we?
Well, you've got to get carried away when things has gone well, man. We've had plenty of downs, so we've got to enjoy the ups.
Yeah, definitely, 100% agree. And listen, it's a joy to watch at the minute. Like they're all having a right go, aren't they? They're all putting their the heart and soul into everything. They're working their socks off. So I don't think anybody's got anything to whinge about. We're just all enjoying it and like hoping it can continue. And I think it can. To be fair, I think the big thing is if we keep everybody fit. Like not everybody, we're going to lose one or two here and there, but you don't want to lose 5 or 6 here. Like your better players. That's the biggest question mark of all. If we keep everybody fit, I think we've got a right chance. I really do.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, Gordon, I think one of the biggest ups of this season has been the fitness of the team. I don't think I've seen a Sunderland team as fit for a lot of years.
Yeah, I agree totally as well. Like I say, I think he's instilled into them like they have to work hard and they have to be fit They have to get about the pitch. They have to know their roles. Even the wide lads, the likes of Mundell and people like that, Roberts, have all worked back.
Yeah.
Worked hard for the team. And it makes such a difference when you see it, like 11 players committed. Even whoever it is who's played centre forward, obviously been Isidore lately, but whoever's played centre forward has worked back and helped out defensively as well, to be fair. And they're all putting a shift in, like I say. So, just long may it continue. And the fellas, like, he's just been unreal, to be fair. Nobody, I don't think even our maddest Sunderland supporter would have said we'd expect it to be top of the league and 5 points clear right now. We wouldn't, no.
Yeah, I think even Speakman's getting a shock, hasn't he?
Exactly. Even Speakman probably has, to be fair. Known Christian, probably not, but there you go.
Aye. Do you know him well, Gordon?
Yes, I've known him a bit, to be fair, right? Yeah, speak to me in there, and he's all right, Christian. He's he's all right.
He got a lot of criticism off me last season because I was very upset the way they went missing last season, where they were never coming on, and the club was just going down and down, and the supporters didn't hear anything.
I would admit, I think that was a mistake last year. I think he'd probably admit that. Is like he should have been communicating with more with the fans, and it's easy to stand up there when things are going well right now. Everybody can stand up and be a hero, whatever you want to call it. But like I agree, last year he should have done more of that. But let's be honest, like from where we've been like 5 years previous and stuff like that, like with the idiots who were like in control before Kirill got in, the club's on and up. There's no doubt about it, and Christian's put a big part in that. I think, there's loads of people behind the scenes as well, to be fair. Stuart Harvey, people like that, who have brought the players in. They've done a great job. Like, you don't realise, do you, until you see them all, really, what good players they are. Like some Mundell and people like that. Nobody had heard of them bloody 6 months ago, really. He'd come on here and there and done bits and bobs, but, they all look like good players. So, that has to be a credit to both of them, to Christian and to Stuart.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I don't know if you heard it. One of your mates on the radio the other week. I had a bit of a run-in with him. Kieran. Kieran Brady.
I love Kieran, but he does like to hear that sound of his own voice, doesn't he?
He says, we got on talking about Sunderland and I'm praising them like I always do. Yeah. And he says, there's not a cat and else chance they'll finish in the top two. Oh, he didn't half get it off me.
No, hey, you can't say that right now, can you? At the end of the day, you'd be foolish to say that. No, definitely can't. No. Like I say, I think it's a big if we can keep our squad together. Listen, like I say, there's nobody can say in any squad, if you lose 5 or 6 of your best players, it's going to hurt you in it. Yeah. And that would happen with us. We have had it before. We've had it the last couple of seasons where we've had a lot of injuries and stuff. And hopefully this year's our good year on that as well, to be fair. Because if they do all stay fit. Like I said, there's nothing to stop us. I don't see there's anything to stop us. There's no great team in the league. I don't think we've been the best team so far. There's no brilliant, outstanding team. So why not? Huh?
No. Yeah. Just saying hello to everybody in the chat. You're listening to the Mackem Cabbie and Davey show, and the legend that is of Gordon Armstrong. And Gary Hoyle says, "Would you fancy playing in this team, Gordon, if it was back in 1992?"
I think you'd be mad not to, wouldn't you? Yeah, absolutely. You'd love to play it. And like I said, I mean, listen, I don't think I'm as good a player as him, but like Joe would be probably about the nearest I would come to, being a similar type of player sort of thing. He's tall, athletic and stuff like that. And when I was a kid, I could run as well, to be fair. And that was probably the nearest I'd be. And listen, who wouldn't want to play right now? They look like they're going to score goals. They're playing for their lives. They look like they're enjoying it. I'd love to go back and be 30 years younger anyway. But
you played with some good players, Gordon, didn't you?
Oh, definitely. There's no doubt about that. So we had some good squads. We never quite sometimes did as well what probably should have done. But even when Reedy came in, and I didn't figure much with Reedy. But I said to Reedy when he first came in, he said, "What's wrong in this place? What's been going wrong?" I said there was a few reasons at the time, but which I won't mention. But basically, I said the squad's a good squad, and it was proven right because the only player that basically came in that changed anything, I think we signed David Kelly, and like Bracewell, and David Kelly never played, as you remember, because he got injured. So, you know, we did have some good squads. It's just sometimes I think we were mismanaged and we had the wrong managers in and stuff like that at times. But there you go. We could talk forever, couldn't we?
Gordon, I've got to go. I've got to mention that class goal you scored at Roker Park. You're probably sick of people asking you about it, like. But I was living in Carlisle at the time. I was listening to me Ghetto Blaster, and 5 Live didn't have the commentary on live on the radio. It was commentated. I had the Spurs game on in they were playing in Europe somewhere, and it's Dennis Wise had just equalised, and then a couple of minutes later, Radio 5 Live went back there. There's been another goal at Roker Park. I was playing Subbuteo at the time. I mean, I was hardly a band. And my players and the pitch just went up in the air when I heard the roar at Roker Park. I mean, what must have felt for you, Gordon, when that hit the back of the net? I mean, I reckon that was the biggest roar yet at Roker Park and back in the day. I mean, how did that feel when that hit the back of the net?
Yeah, it's still special now, to be fair. Like you say, lots of people talk to me about it. And like I do say, I have a laugh with him, you know what I mean? Because me and Gary Bennett are still quite close, to be fair, and stuff. And we laugh about it a little bit because he's famous for chin and speedy, and I'm famous for scoring a great goal. So so like he gets lots of accolades for lots of things, but he's just famous for chin and speedy, like, to be fair. So no, just special. I mean, listen, I always say nights at Roker Park were like amazingly special anyway. They're like, you know, I don't care what anybody says. There's no atmosphere, you know, like them grounds in, and especially Roker Park. It was just amazing nights. Like, you've got a full house. It was unreal. I mean, even I can remember as a kid, you know, I remember going to the second leg at the first game I probably remember was like Vasas at home. I think Vasas Budapest of Hungary, and we beat them at home 2-0. I think I always remember. I'm not even really properly checked up on it, but they're just special nights, you know. It was just under the lights, and it was just amazing.
There's a saying. There's a saying when you score big goals like that, and your adrenaline is thumping that high, you're that much in the zone, you don't even hear the crowds cheering when you scored that goal. I mean, was that like that for you, or were you just totally embracing it?
I was necking on with Brian Atkinson, I think, to be fair. Is what I've seen afterwards. I don't even remember doing that, to be fair, but never mind. But yeah, no, it's just special nights. The other one that I always tell everybody is a lot of people don't realise, but obviously Dennis Wise scored that goal, is 2 things from that. He put in his book, it was the worst defeat and the worst night of his footballing career, which is always nice. And the other side was he did get chucked out of the players' bar for being a bit of an asshole, to be fair. Nice. So yeah, all little things that you remember as well, to be fair. But no, just great times. It's just lucky to be a footballer. Loved it, and I played for the club that I loved since I was a kid. So it doesn't get any better than that, really, does it? You know what I mean? I could have left a few times with bits and bobs, but never wanted to. Never ever wanted to. Only when they chucked us out, I had to go.
We chucked out again.
I was in the full end that night, and from where I was standing, it looked like you were outside the box when you headed it.
Yeah, it was on the edge, I think, something like that. But yeah, I mean, really, I always say they should have had somebody on the benches as well. They didn't have somebody on the back post, but there you go. That's football in it, and its circumstances. And to be fair, nobody ever remembers, but I scored a one in the first half, and actually I've seen it on the telly later on. I was convinced, like, during the game, it was onside. It was onside. I'd scored a one at the Roker end, and but it's how it works out, and it's how people remember, like, stuff. It worked out well, didn't it? You know what I mean? So there you go. That's footy. You never know what's going to happen, do you?
Oh no, absolutely not. I mean, how times change and stuff. I mean, the stadium, lovely stadium, but it just hasn't got that. It's got the atmosphere, but it's a completely different type of atmosphere to Roker Park, and at the tower and floodlights and the smell of the Bovril in the stands and this and that and the other. It's such a shame. Like,
plus, like say, Roker Park was standing and all, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Like
when
the full end moved, the whole end moved with it.
Yeah, exactly.
It was just amazing, that full end. Amazing.
Yeah, and to be fair, the Roker end when it was proper big before it was cutting off was like unbelievable. That's where I used to stand when I was a kid. I stood at the top of the Roker end, like near the floodlight, and it was amazing. Like I always remember West Ham coming and being stuck in the middle of it one time in the Roker end. There must have been about 200 West Ham fans stuck in the middle of the Roker end. I don't know how on earth they did that. Like, to be fair, with the police and stuff, there was murder. But that's how it was.
Just so you know, I've only got the free version of Zoom, so if it cuts off out to 40 minutes, I'll just have to connect again.
No bother.
If that's okay with you a lot, it's it's just the same as before. You just reconnect if it does.
Listen, don't be guaranteed that I'll get back on, because I am hopeless, by the way. But there you go. I'll try my best.
So you're watching the match there. What's the score, Gordon? Is it?
It's now Teach. Mickey Hartford's on here with David Pleat. I've got on mine. So yeah.
Has Luton burst any balls yet?
Not yet. They've probably killed a few pigeons. And a few people on the roofs on the back of it. I'm just the houses in the back of the ground.
So certainly nothing wrong with any Sunderland fan daring to dream then, because I mean this is still a long way to go, isn't there? And I think I was listening to Total Sport tonight, and a lot of the callers were phoning and talking to Benno on that, saying it's just when you start to get injuries and you start to go into your second string squad, that's where Sunderland could run into problems. But some fans think we've got enough in our second string squad as well to keep the momentum going. Plus, we've got the January transfer window coming as well.
Yeah, exactly. I think we have got some players that could come in and do well. The only hard side is that, like, you know, you come in, you say second string. Yes, there might be a little bit inferior, and not a lot. You know what I mean? They're obviously professional players, so they're good players. But like the other side is they just haven't played games. You know, like our lads, the main lads now are playing. You know, have already played like 12, 13 games, haven't they? So it's hard to come into a team when you haven't played and you haven't been playing regularly. It ain't easy, like so that's going to be that. No, that's the hard part about it as well.
Because at the minute, Gordon, like the players don't even look for each other. They know they're there. Yeah,
they just know they're there, and they're getting used to each other exactly so much. Exactly, you know, and like you said, but they're also, you know, they're that fit. I'm sure he's working hard to keep the other guys as fit as he can, but there's no substitute for playing on a Saturday. You know what I mean? No. So it is tough, but listen, the other side is once you get a bit of belief and a bit of confidence, anything can happen. You know what I mean? It's like it's a different thing. It's like I played in. The one thing I always say about Sunderland is it's never boring. You know, it was never ever boring, never will be. We're either at the top of the league or the bottom of the league, aren't we? That's how it is. It's never ever boring. I think in the whole of my career at Sunderland, which was like 13 years or something, is like I think it was one season where we finished in mid-table. One season, otherwise we were battling at the bottom or at the top, and that's how it was. And it always has been. I mean, I know last season where you couldn't really say anything. Yeah, last season was a bit everything. When we were battling at the top at one stage, and
then we're trying our hardest to make the relegation battle in the end.
We didn't all in the end, didn't we? Exactly, I do. Exactly.
I know. I mean, what was it? What was Mackem Crosby like to play under? Obviously, he was the caretaker, wasn't he? On that massive Magic FA Cup run, decent fella.
Crosby's a really good man. Like at the end of the day, and I think the lads realised it was nothing to do with him. The fact that, like, you know, he didn't push to get anybody out, which happens sometimes. There's like people in behind the scenes that work an angle to try and help themselves, sort of thing. Everybody knew he was a good guy that was only trying to do the best that he could. And he came in and did a great job. So, he did do a good job. You know, he kept it. We struggled. That was one of the years we actually struggled. We were at the bottom end of the what is now the Championship. And we survived comfortably and obviously had a great cup run. So, like I said, it's never boring.
Absolutely. A couple of messages in the chat says, Pastor Alex says, hello Dave. He says, hello Gordon. He's from Uganda. He says, God bless you and me and my village. My village people will worship you. He says, we've got a regular from Uganda, Pastor Alex. You know, Pastor.
Good stuff. Like it. I like it.
And John Nesbitt says, I was in the Rocket end that night, right behind your header, Gordon. Then crushed force to the ground. It was utter madness. Yeah, because the Chelsea had the middle section, didn't there? There was a bit of Sunderland fans in the corner.
Yeah, that's right. It was an amazing night, like we said, and wish I could have scored a few more like that. But I just don't want to do like that, to be fair.
He scored plenty of
goals. Not quite as good as that one.
It's where you got the energy to, because you leapt some height in that corner. It was a quality corner from Atkinson, like, but crikey, it's like you had springs on your boots. You're not off, just towered above everybody.
Yeah, I know. I seen Townsend, Andy Townsend, and I went to an Everton game, and he was working with a television. He was outside one of there, and he seen us coming along, and as I'm coming along, he went, "I wasn't supposed to effing pick you up anyway." So he said, "Jonesy always playing me." He said, "But I wasn't supposed to be effing picking you up," and he ended up marking it, and I think I jumped above him. I don't think Andy was a very good player, but he wasn't the bravest soul in the world. Like,
No.
One way ticket, Dave says, "Hi, has Gordon got any favourite son and memorabilia in his house at the moment from his playing days?"
Not at the minute. We're sort of in the middle of moving house. Believe it or not, we just sold our house about 5 weeks ago, so we're in rented place. So I'm a bit all over the place at the minute. No, all my stuff, most about 3/4 of our stuff's in the lockup. So I'm hoping most of my stuff's there, yeah, but I don't really know.
Do you still live in the northeast, Gordon?
I do, yeah. I've been back up now for well, obviously I moved down to I played for Bury and Burnley, and I was down there for we were down there for about 14 years or something. But I've been back up now for 20 odd years. Back up in the northeast. So yeah, I still get loads of games. When I can, but obviously with the work as well, I sometimes get to watch other lads as well, to be fair, so I don't go to all the games, but I go.
Do you still keep in touch with some of your teammates?
I do. I still speak to Owsey, Gary Howers, Gabbers, Benno, obviously all the time. I see Gatey from time to time, and I go down and see John McPhail as well. To be fair, I hasn't been too well. He hasn't been great, but I go down and see John.
Great.
I used to see John, but his missus is unbelievable. Diane's been unbelievable. Like she's absolutely class. Like it's been tough for her, right? But she's been amazing. Yeah.
It's great. It was great to see Gordon it was great to see Gordon Marco Gabbiadini getting through his operation with flying colours, and he's on the road to recovery now. So
yeah,
have you spoke to him since then?
I have, yeah. I've had a couple of conversations just in text and stuff. I haven't spoken to him direct, but actually I texted him tonight. Yes, he's doing all right. I think, yeah. As long as he can start eating again, he'll be all right. Yeah, that lad. He likes to eat, that boy.
He says he's the heaviest he's ever been in his life.
Well, yeah, that's because he eats a lot. That's why. But there you go.
Well, he will have been.
He's not the only one. Like
we do, Davey. We do. He certainly had he'll have been the heaviest back in his playing days. The size of his thighs. Crate, we called him tree trunks legs.
He was a strong boy, wasn't he? He was a good player, the lad. Aye, very good.
Aye. Absolutely. So, Gordon, we've got QPR tomorrow. Are you going down? Are you watching it anywhere?
No, not tomorrow. No, I'm not going down. No, I will be. I'll be watching out for it. Just watching out for the result. Really, I've got a meeting on in the morning and stuff, so I've got a few things on tomorrow that I've got to do. But yeah, I'll just keep an eye on it and just hopefully we can get another great result. I've watched them a couple of times. To be fair, QPR on the telly, and they're not as bad, I would say, as what the results sort of imply. So I'm not saying it'll be a really, really tough game, but we'll still have to play well to get a result.
I think that's what
tight little ground, isn't it? Tight little ground,
very similar to Kenilworth Road, isn't it? It's a very tight little ground with intimidating with the crowd.
That's Gordon. Has he heard anything about Chris Rigg not being available tomorrow?
I did hear something earlier on, but I was just Martin Smith texted me just to say that he'd heard something. So I don't know if he is available or not, but and more importantly, I hope he's all right. Obviously, that's the most important bit.
Personal medical problem he's got. That's what said on Barnsley and Benno.
So
could be out, couldn't it?
Yeah, well, by the sounds of it, he probably won't be right that you would think, but for tomorrow. But more importantly, like I said, he's all right longer term. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he's all right that way, and he's fine.
Absolutely,
that's the most important bit. And we've got Brownie and people like that coming on me. So it might even be in some ways if he, as long as he's all right, obviously
the rest.
That's the most important. It might not be the worst time for him to miss a game. All right.
Oh, fantastic. El Bong says, all right, lads, all right, Gordon. He says, out of your 349 appearances, what was your favourite game for Sunderland? That's a hard one, because I bet you there was a few of them.
No, it's pretty easy, really. Beating Newcastle away in the playoffs is my favourite game. By far, like,
Two
that's
and
my
out.
favourite game. Yeah, just wish I could have scored that night, but like, yeah, I never scored at St James's Eye at the post, but I'd love to have scored at St James's Eye.
Well, the Sunderland
I
fans
have
went
scored
daft.
against
the crowd come on, Gordon.
Hey?
Were you panicking when the crowd come on?
Nah, not really. No, not really. No, we were quite comfortable. And to be fair, as soon as we got off, to be fair, George Courtney said to us, came in our dressing room and said, "Look, whatever happens, this game will finish." Like yeah. But quietly, George is a bit of a Sunderland fan. Did I say that? I did say that. Yeah.
It was a very heavy pitch that night, wasn't it, at St James's Park? I mean,
it was. It rained and that. Yeah. Yeah. They just, I think they thought they'd won, and they did start better than us, but then we got on top after that, and yeah, we deserved to win. Like in the end.
So I was at the Roker Park, the first leg when Hardiman put his foot through Budgie's face, up Budgie's head after the penalty miss.
Yeah. Well, I always tell Hardy that I saved his life because it was about 6 or 7 and wanted to chin him. I think, to be fair, and I couldn't in between them all. So I saved his life. But there you go.
Aye,
to be fair, the lad didn't miss many penalties, like, did he? He was very good. Very good.
So neither did John McPhail, did he?
Yeah, John McPhail didn't miss many neither. Not at all. No.
Is it true, McPhail? He missed it was the last game of the season against Northampton. That was the only one he missed.
Oh, did he? He missed then. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, when we went up, that's true. He did miss one, and then we beat them 3-1, didn't we? Yeah.
Magic stuff and that. And of course, there was the FA Cup final itself, 1992. I mean, I know the result wasn't the best, but it'll still been a special day, that, Gordon.
Yeah. When you get beat, no, not really. No, it's like it's amazing, and it's something to remember. You know what I mean? But like, it was just good. And I know Bawley says the same. To be fair, me and Bawley say the same. He's like, I've never watched it since and don't want to, sort of thing. You know what I mean? It's like, you just got it because you lost, and you feel like you let people down, and you wanted to win. Don't get us wrong. Listen, they obviously had top players. You know what I mean? They're top players. So it was never going to be easy. But we had 1 or 2 chances that if it maybe gone our way, then it might have been a different result. But that's football. Like again, like they could say the same, and maybe could say they could have won 4, 5, 6. But
of course, we were minutes away from just playing. Could have been playing Portsmouth as well, because Liverpool scored in the last minute, didn't they?
Yeah, that's right.
In their replay. I've got somebody, Dougie Stewart, on the chat. He says, I don't know if you know Gordon. He says, can I ask Gordon if Gary Howe shared his winnings from when he dropped the Bandit on the way to the Isle of Man in '91? Do you ring any bells? That perhaps?
I think I can remember that, to be fair, somewhere. I think at the time it was something like 50 quid or something like 100 quid or something. He did like the Bandits, old Howsey, to be fair, right? Yeah. He definitely. 100% he won't have shared it. That's for certain. There's nature. Tight as a duck's ass. Nature.
Good. Some play when he Gary Hours and that, like, so.
Good player. He's a good player and a good lad and all, to be fair. Nice lad. I get on well with that.
We've got a minute and a bit left. I mean, you needn't come back on, Gordon. Obviously, you're going to be busy, and we'll let you crack on with the rest of your night, mate.
It's been great. It's been great. It's a pity we can't get some more on, Cabbie. Ex-players like this.
We will do. I've tried to get Benno, but Barnesy says there's no chance of getting Benno.
And no chance of getting Kieran on either.
No, you're not getting Kieran on now, Dave.
So Gordon, before you gone, mate, you got any predictions for the QPR game tomorrow? What do you reckon?
I reckon it'll be either 2-1 or 3-1 us. I reckon. But I am crap at predictions, so I wouldn't be going to the bookies and putting your mortgage on it. But there you go.
Sunderland seem to be doing the decent thing this time, though, is putting the teams at what we should be, like bottom half of the table. We seem to be like, putting them to bed. I know it wasn't against Plymouth, but that could have gone either way. But I think if Sunderland, treat every game the same, don't have that mentality like the second off bottom or whatever, it will be a walkover, then they should do it, like. So
yeah, we should win, shouldn't we? I know form, but that doesn't always work out like that neither, does it? And you've got to be really wary of it, and not, like you say, it's just keeping the same attitudes, isn't it? And keeping everything going the same way, basically. And yeah, I don't see why they won't, but you just never know, do you? Just never know.
Not at all. Oh, well, thanks very much, Gordon, for
no problem at all.
tuning in.
Speak to you guys.
All right, take away tonight, is it?
Tonight, no, just watching the footy. She's gone out, my missus, so I'm all alone watching the football. That seems like a good night to me, to be honest.
Well,
You're not long been back from Turkey, have you?
No, I just got back about a week ago. So yeah.
Well, there we go. That's the that would be the end of the show because the Zoom meeting has finished. I'll just say a massive thanks to everybody who tuned in on that one. 40 minutes, that's all I'm allowed on Zoom. Gordon Armstrong could only do the 40 minutes, but it was great to speak to him. Looks like a turkey. Ian Curry passed to Alex, the old bishop. But thanks everybody for tuning in. Enjoyed it tonight, and we'll catch you